Hi friends. So today we are going to discuss what is the salary of ACCA students in India. ये बहुत commonly asked question है and I think every student जब ACCA course join करता है, so the first question that they want to ask is how much is it that we are going to earn. So in today's video I'm going to quickly tell you of typically in India what kind of salary ranges companies offer. Okay. Now before we begin that, first you need to understand in India what kind of companies hire ACCAs. Well, ACCAs are hired by all multinational companies, of course. So इसमें आपके सब big four आ गए, which is Deloitte, KPMG, PwC, Ernst & Young. You have Grant Thornton, you have BDO, okay, जिसको Big Six कहा जाता है. And then you have a host of large companies like you have an Accenture, you have HSBC, Standard Chartered, Kotak, JP Morgan, इस तरह के क्रिसल, इस तरह के बड़े कंपनीज टिपिकली हायर करते हैं स्टूडेंट्स. A lot of our students have got placed in such large organizations. So any big company that you can think of in any sector typically has some of the other openings for ACCA students, okay? And in what kind of roles? Now obviously you become an expert at IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standards, which is basically global accounting. So you can get hired in any global accounting and advisory role. You can become an auditor. So there are varieties of audit. You have internal audit. You can become a part of statutory audit teams. Though ACCAs can't sign a balance sheet in India, but still you can become a part of stat audit teams, forensic audit, several audits, concurrent audits. You can become a part of several auditing teams. Then you can do a host of jobs around risk, because risk is a very, very integral part of any organization. So risk consulting is again, a very, very renowned area in which ACCAs get hired. You can do a host of management consulting jobs, corporate finance, investment banking, mergers and acquisitions. So इस तरह के roles typically जहाँ CAs hire होते हैं from a global perspective and MBA finance candidates also get hired, those roles ACCAs can do. The only roles that ACCAs cannot do or find it difficult to do, if I may say, is hardcore roles in direct and indirect taxes, Indian, because that's not adequately covered in your curriculum. You learn that in your graduation in college and not so much in ACCA. So those jobs are more so reserved for chartered accountants. But other than that, you can do a host of all these jobs. Okay. Now, very important, what kind of start salaries? Now, usually in my experience, I've seen that if you're a fresh ACCA, assume you have no experience and you start your ACCA with your graduation, let's say when you're in your first year, and you finish it by the time you're done your TY. So typically at the age of 20, 21, when you get into your jobs, and if you go into any of the big four, the average salary packs anywhere between 6 odd lakh of rupees an annum, okay, in most of the tier 1 cities in India. So you can see a range of about 6 to 7 lakhs is typically what a lot of the ACCA students make, okay? Now, with this, if you add a little bit of experience, now for example, recently we had a student who was in ACCA and he had 2 years of working experience. The salary figures can shoot up to as much as about 8 to 9 lakh of rupees as well, okay? And once you get onto your jobs at the age of 20, 21 with these kind of salary packages, then basis your performance, you can grow in your career. So thereafter, how you're going to grow and how much you're going to make is really dependent on the type of organization you work in, the kind of role you do, and more importantly, how you're performing, okay? So then it's a very, very northward journey, if I may say, but typically this is what I have generally seen, that in a city like Bombay or a city like Bangalore or Delhi or any of these top cities, typically ACCAs start at an average salary of about 6 lakhs with no experience. And the moment you add experience, these figures, like I said, shoot up. Another case which I'll talk about is, we had a candidate who was a chartered accountant and then he finished his ACCA the last 4 papers, okay? Now, what kind of salary did he make? So generally, chartered accountants in India earn anywhere between a start salary these days of about 8 to 9 lakhs an annum. And because he finished his ACCA with a little bit of work experience, he was also offered a package in the Big Four of about 12 lakh of rupees, right? So the salary figures shoot up by easily 20 to 30% the moment you add a global degree with your chartered accountancy tag, okay? So typically that's what ACCA students make in India. The next question is, what happens when you go abroad? Well, when you go abroad, of course you make very good figures, because obviously the cost of living is high, the currency is different, but really what you'll end up making abroad is a lot dependent on which country you're getting to, what is the job situation there, How are you competing with the local charter bodies there? So I think there are a lot of factors, a lot of variables at play that will decide what kind of salaries you will make abroad. But definitely when you go abroad, especially in the countries where ACCA is very well recognized, the figures can multiply in no time. Okay, now some candidates directly apply for jobs abroad. Sometimes we have students who finish their ACCA in India, they go to do a little bit of some master's degree abroad and they get a job. Recently we had a candidate who got a job in KPMG India, worked for about a year and a half, and then he took a secondment and he went to KPMG UK. Okay, and now he's in the UK for quite a few years and doing very well for himself. So really, if you want to go abroad, going into a big four, working in India for a few years, or going into any of these top organizations, working in India for a few years, and then taking a secondment and going abroad generally is the fastest way to get there. Okay, so this is basically the kind of experience that ACCAs have in India.